This video was made possible by Enviro Elements. Hello to you all, I hope you are doing great. In this video I'll be showing you exactly my main thought process regarding an artwork, and of course at the end of it I'll show you what effects and filters I add to the work to make it pop that much, because you all requested it and convinced me to do so. Okay, so jumping to our artwork, I've been thinking for this one to take inspiration from movies like Interstellar, A Space Odyssey, mainly because I enjoyed a couple of scenarios where they were revealing some space stations near planets, so I thought that might be a cool idea and wanted to represent it in my way for this video. At the beginning, of course, I'm placing my images as usual. Also, you can notice that everything is organized if you look to the right box that contains layers. This helps you simplifying sometimes the idea you are developing, because having your stuff prepared doesn't allow you to lose your focus for the artwork. Okay, so the concept that I had in mind represents a beautiful planet with glowing waves of energy or light, and for the outer space a big station absorbing all that beautiful light. You'll see soon what I meant. I can't remember the exact place from where I got this space station. I found it randomly on my computer and told myself, why not to use it? Now, wait a second, you may be wondering where I got those smokes from, right? Well, here comes Enviro Elements, the sponsor of this video, in full glory. Enviro is a huge stock assets website where you can find pretty much whatever you want, from stock photos to videos, graphics, templates for your own websites, fonts, brushes and a lot more. And here's the best thing about Enviro: not only the 3D section that we've mentioned previously in our past videos, but the graphics one, where you can find a lot of overlays. Just type smoke and you'll get tons of smoke overlays at your disposal. This applies to everything you are looking for. Also, they offer an annual plan of 40-50 euros per month, which is not much at all. It is such a good price for what the website has to offer. Of course, if you're students, you can get the annual plan for 10 euros per month, because yes, Enviro has a suitable program for all the students with a 30% discount. I'll drop my affiliate link down below, so every subscription that you guys take, I get a small part as well. This would help a lot. Getting back to the piece, I'm playing with those smoke assets. Also, I'm blurring them to give some depth and to outline the scale of the energy that the planet is pulsing out. I tried to add another space station in the back, but I didn't feel that will work, so I added it in the foreground to show some framing. Now other smoke overlays added to show somehow that our station is penetrated by those light rays or energy. Because we needed a scale reference, I'm going to add some spaceships getting ready to arrive on the station. This gives us some story. Using this beautiful city lights image that I got from Envaro, we'll be adding to our spaceship some lights just to make it look like it's populated and there are people in there. Also, you know already, to get the lights from this image, I'm using the color range tool. I didn't want this to be the single planet out there, and I added one more, but this one very small and in the background, again, scale purposes. At this point you will see that I added a lot of lights, shadows, and mainly I'm painting with colors over the piece to look nicely and well blended. But since I promised you I will explain this, let's jump into a live reaction from me. Okay guys, so here we are in Photoshop. As I promised, today I'm gonna be explaining you exactly what I do to get from this image to the image you're gonna see in a moment. Okay, so this is the image where we last left our video. Here it ended because, you know, I am actually trying to get like a better one after the video. I'm spending like 2 more or 3 more hours. By the way, this piece took almost 6 hours to complete. Well, it's a strong and solid piece. and I'm gonna be showing you exactly what I did. So let's begin with our layers. I unmasked here the layers just to show you exactly what I did. So here is what it ended, I guess, or yeah, here's what it ended. So I got these two natural light things, light leaks from Envato Elements. Not that big of a deal. I wanted more light down here, and that's what I did. So basically, before I'm gonna start to show you the whole layers of the whole process, I want you to tell guys that for my finished artworks, I am using I'm using amounts and amounts of color. And what do I mean by that? I am using two things: a lot of color and camera raw filter. I know it sounds weird. I know you thought that it might be like something else, but no, I am using color because I have experience. Experience tell its word. Why? Because I worked a lot for this, and I kind of formed my eye to understand how color works sometimes. Okay, so after these two simple light I got from Envato Elements, they're so good. Again, I'm using a couple of layers here for shadows. Let me zoom a bit, maybe you see better. Yeah, well, this is for lights. I'm amplifying the lights on the space station because here is very lighty. I'm adding again some depth. Basically, these layers are for shadows, more shadows like that. And here I think it starts, we start with the color, right? I don't know what this layers is supposed to be. Oh, it's a tiny small thing there. Okay, so here we are. I added more of these guys, but I think you won't see them because they're very small. You know, sometimes I'm adding some, I don't know, elements to the artwork, and I am actually lowering the opacity to almost 5 or 10%. Why? Because if I do this, it doesn't look good. For me, this one doesn't look good. So what did I say? Since I still added this layer, I'm not gonna delete it, but I'm gonna add it at 10%. So it's just something there to complete a bit. It's not something big. You don't have to think it with a big perspective, but it's just something okay. Okay, and here is what I wanted to get. Let's color this. Let's put it on orange. So I got some lights on these spaceships too, which by the way are great, and I transformed the ship a bit with helping again of the Envato Elements. These are from Envato Elements 3D section. I applied a camera raw filter, and I'm not gonna show you. I mean, I can show you, but I didn't save the setting. I can tell you exactly what I used from camera raw filter. I have used the basics, of course: exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows. I was playing with these guys. Also, I'm using a bit of texture and clarity, but just 1 or 2 points. Dehazing a bit, but not that much. Vibrance and all of that stuff, you know. And I have played a bit with the color mixer, which does a great job. And I transformed a bit. If you see the blues in a purple, but you'll see this in a moment because I am doing even more. So this is for the edges. Yeah, you see this contour, this outlined edges here. You might be wondering what I use for them. Well, I saw this in a previous video of I can't remember where I saw this, but I implemented it in my style, and it actually helps. So for this one, you're going to go you're gonna like make a copy of this. Yeah, you're gonna make a copy, or if you just simply wanna like put it all together, you're gonna press Ctrl Alt Shift plus E, and it's gonna get you a new image. Doesn't matter. You're gonna go here to the filter gallery, because yes, and here you have some filters, and you go stylize glowing edges. You adjust the edges. It's gonna look like that. I know it looks shitty. It looks shitty, but it's gonna work because you do this, and then you put it on color dodge or whatever you want. For me, it works the best in color dodge because, you know, I'm a color dodge addicted. And you just lower the opacity. You make a mask, Control I, and you paint over it to have beautiful, beautiful edges. But we did that already, so we don't need to do it anymore. Let's jump to the next things. Yes, I have this beautiful lens flare, or I think it's optical flare. Yeah, it's from Envato Elements, of course, so it adds the light and all of that stuff. It's kind of like stylizing the work, you know. It looks very good. Another lens flare and another lens flare. I'm adding a second camera raw filter, but this is not too much. This is just for, I don't know, contrasting some things. This wasn't like, even if I'm gonna remove this, it will not look that different, just a bit of contrast. Yeah, so here we go with the blur. You might not see this, but I blurred. This is where the blur, because I want to show somehow the distance and the focus of the object. So I'm gonna blur this one. I'm gonna blur here the planet and all that stuff. The back parts of the space station are gonna be blurred, of course. And I'm using this with this. I'm using this with this. This sounds funny, actually. I'm actually achieving this blur with this tool, blur tool, and you just paint over, you know. You don't have to do much. So more things, more colors. Let's see, what is this? Motion blur. Okay, so I added them. So I wanted to replicate the artwork, to go here at blur, motion blur, and I wanted to do this for the artwork, and then to lower the opacity and give it a effect. But I forgot that I already blurred the image, and I have I've got only these tiny things here. Okay, so here more saves. I don't know why I did this too. Maybe I didn't think about it. Because sometimes when the flow goes, it's just you go with it. You don't think about what you're doing. It's just your experience and your eyes that are and your brain, of course, that are telling you you need to do that because it's gonna look cool. Here we have our snowfall, and I wanted to do this again for the motion purposes. If I'm gonna, you see that's for the motion purposes. Okay, so here again, more color, a bit of depth. It's not much, it's just there to show somehow that I'm actually, yes, I'm working about details. It's not too much. I don't wanna, let's say, over color the piece and look shitty. And here I'm gonna glow again the space ships. Yeah, and here goes a camera raw filter. Okay, so here it goes, a camera raw filter that I have playing with. Okay, so here I was confused about how I want the color to look. So first I wanted it to look blue, but I realized that it's gonna like look too much. It's gonna be too much blue, and I transformed it into a purple. And here again, more things in the background. It's not gonna be much. Actually, let me show you how I'm doing this. I'm taking my brush. I'm like doing this stuff. I'm picking, let's say, a purple, and I'm coloring like that. I'm going to lighten sometimes. Here you go, like that. It's gonna like, and then we raise a bit. You see, this is the difference. So it's not that much. And here is where I was blasting, because this is where the piece actually ended for that day. And the second day I was not home, and I was thinking about it, and I thought, man, it's gonna look like better with purples because it has a lot of blue. It's gonna look boring. And here I jumped back into the piece after I saved it. So I saved the piece, I did everything, and I have jumped back to the piece and did this. I just added a color balance in which I modified the magenta lights. You see here? Yeah, not gonna do that, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I amplified this, I adjusted it, a bit of other color here. Purple color is just my thing, adding color, working with layer modes, blending modes. Here another color balance because I wanted to add a bit of, guess what, green. Yeah, it's not gonna look that okay, but it's gonna be looking good. So this is color balance, and here we're gonna have a brightness and contrast anymore. And here is the final thing that I learned from other artists to do it. I didn't know it's gonna work until I tried it myself. But guys, I'm gonna have to tell you, grain is so good. Grain looks so good. It just blends the artwork so much. It blends the elements of the artwork. So yeah, it's looking so well. So I'm gonna press Control Shift plus N, and it's gonna open the new layer panel. I'm not using this little button here to build a new layer. I'm gonna go here at layer mode, and I'm gonna press overlay, because overlay gives me the opportunity to give, you see, fill with overlay neutral color, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is a gray layer but overlaid, you see, that's the thing. So I'm gonna go up here to noise, add noise, and then we're gonna I selected again an amount. I think you can do whatever amount you want. If you want very greenish, but if you do like that, it's gonna look shitty, of course. But I think 4, it's okay. 424, let's say like that. And I am not concerned now because, okay, you see this grain? I like this grain more because it's bigger and it blends well. And this grain is smaller. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit Control T and then transform this into a bigger mode. Okay, so here's the grain, but still in a bad shape because we need to blur it a bit. I am using the blur, Gaussian blur, and yeah, as you can see, it blurred a bit, and it's gonna look well now. Okay, so enough talk. I guess this is the end of the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did that, please like the video, subscribe. If you didn't, share it with your friends, because this is the most important thing, so more people will see this and will understand my perspective. I'm gonna do more videos like this in the future if you want me to, but I think this tutorial explains everything, and I really hope you understood something out of it, because I kinda didn't want to do it at the beginning, but since I saw a lot of people want me to do it and there were a lot of requested, I started to do it. Okay, enough talking, guys. Remember that any idea can become reality in Photoshop. I'm gonna be letting some minutes play out the finished artworks with some epic music on the background, because that's what I do every time. So yeah, guys, see you in the next video.